I'm outside of historic Memorial Coliseum where Kentucky just dominated Monmouth. 104-46. It was originally 104-49. Monmouth, they hit a 3 at the buzzer. We all said it counted. I mean, everyone in the building thought it counted, except for the stat keeper, who I guess eventually made the end call. So, we released our graphic and everything, 104-49, and then UK spokesperson walks in the presser and he's like, "Hey, by the way, that 3 didn't count, just so you all know." So, the referee even signaled for the hit. Yeah. So 104-46, Kentucky beats Monmouth. To start this game, I'm going to start the game. Kentucky is 0 for 5 from 3, and I was like, oh God, here we go again. But ladies and gentlemen, this is why you hear coaches, I was listening to Mark Pope earlier today. This is why you hear coaches just say, keep on shooting the basketball. Because Kentucky started the game 0 for 30, or not 0 for 35, 0 for 5, and then they proceed to go 7 for 36 from 3. Did I say 17? I can't speak right. 17 for 36. Okay, so they start 0 for 5, finish 17 for 36. There you go. Very good numbers. That's one 3-pointer shy of the program record that they set last season. I believe that it was that Mississippi State game where Georgia and Deja went insane. But again, 104-46 is the final. Again, you start the game 0 for 5, and I'm like, okay, are we going to have this? But I got to give credit to Kenny, to the whole team, right? I asked Kenny in the presser, I was like, hey, so after that Moorhead game and you come into tonight, it seemed like things flowed a lot better offensively. Forget the made shots, it seemed like the offense flowed better. Was there an adjustment made? And he was like, yeah, that was the first thing we did when we walked in the gym. Like when we walked into the gym that next day, we talked about tempo and pace, and you saw that. Like Kentucky played fast. Kentucky played to the speed they want to play. If you all remember last time, I was trying to make sure. There we go. Kentucky just played at their speed. Moorhead really did a good job, I thought, on Monday of controlling the pace of the game. And it looked like at the end of the fourth quarter, Kentucky was tired and halfway out of it because it was Moorhead's pace of play, right? And you come in here tonight and it's the complete opposite. You flip the switch. And again, that results 17 of 36 from 3. Just absolutely wonderful numbers. I remember on the podcast, the rapid reaction from last game, I was like, are we going to be worried about this team's 3-point shooting? Right? I don't know if I'm super worried right now. I'm definitely not worried in the moment because, again, you just shot nearly 50% from deep. And you shot it's not like you went 5 for 10. You shot 36 threes. That's the number. You hear Mark Pope all the time, and he's like, we shot 27 threes, we need to be in the 30s. Well, Kentucky was in the 30s tonight. But first of all, biggest shout out in the world to Lexi Blue. Story of the night, right? Starts the game, a perfect 6 for 6 from 3-point range. And you just start to wonder, is this girl human anymore? And then she finally misses a 3. I think I said on our message board, I think she missed that last 3 on purpose because she finished 6 of 7 3-point range. You are welcome for that. But just an outstanding game from Lexi. You can tell, last season when you watched Lexi Blue play basketball, you could see that, one, she was a freshman. So everything, she was kind of raw, still trying to figure it out. But I feel like at times you could almost kind of see where her confidence wasn't there. You could almost see where, she could tell she just wasn't having quite the year she wanted. And credit to her for sticking with it, coming back, working through the adversity, working through everything. And now you're seeing the dividends pay off, right? I was talking to somebody earlier tonight, and it sounds like Kenny is really trying to figure out the rotation right now in terms of he knows his starters. He knows Asia Boone's the 6th man. Go Cats! So, anyway, so you think about this Kentucky team, and you think about Lexi Blue, right? That guy screaming at me, "Go Cats" from the car. Now we got to ask what I'm doing. They're clearly not fans of the rapid reactions. So, moving on, Lexi Blue did a lot of really good stuff. You see how she comes back from freshman year, and like I was saying, just not the most confident, right? And the hard work and just like, again, she could have transferred. I didn't hear of like a school like coming for, poaching for, but in this world she could have, right? And she comes back, and not only does she do good, she does great. I mean, she was the best player on the floor tonight, and like I was saying before, I got yelled at from the street. Um, Again, like you could just see where Kenny is trying to figure out the rotation beyond the sixth man, and credit to Lexi Blue because she absolutely stepped up. And then you have Amelia Hassett, who started the game 0 for 5 from 3, right? Like, she started the game kind of on a rough note. Started the game, again, thinking, I saw a Trent Noah comparison online. I know some people haven't been happy with him and his shooting, and it's like, well, is Amelia ever going to figure this out? Because last season, she kind of struggled. This season, to start, she was kind of struggling. And then she's on fire, and she scores 17 points, grabs, I think, 8 rebounds. Like, other than Lexi Blue, who had her best game as a Wildcat, Amelia Hassett had one of her better games as a Wildcat. And it was just so nice to see again, because she starts 0 for 5, and then, again, she just keeps shooting, and she figures it out. I believe someone asked her in the post-game press conference, she's like, hey, after that 5th miss, we saw you go up to Kenny, and it was like, what did he say? And I think this is great. Kenny Brooks was just like, keep shooting. You're going to make the next one. And, of course, instilling that confidence in Amelia, she goes out and she performs really well. I really liked what we saw from Tiani Key as well. I think she had 14 points, 9 something like that. I don't have the stats totally memorized at the moment. But, again, Tiani, after last game, she scored 7 points, but I think she was like 2 of 8 from the field or something really poor. And, again, you can see if the shots aren't going to fall from deep, I really like how right now it seems like this team's like, okay, we'll pound it in the post. You know what I mean? I know that isn't the modern-day sexy form of basketball, but if you can't hit the 3, and they did it tonight, but if you're a certain player and you can't hit the 3 in a moment, you're 6'5". They just jacked you up on the official roster page from 6'4" to 6'5". Girl, bang down low, like put an elbow on them and score. And then she did that really well. I thought Clara Strack did some good things. Like, statistically, not the like best Clara, and I say not the best. I don't say that in a bad way. I just mean she didn't put up 15 and 15 again. I think she had 9 and 6 and maybe 2 blocks. But again, on the defensive end, is very disruptive. Did a very good job. Thought Tony Morgan. It's still a work in progress with Tony Morgan at point guard, but I think it got a little bit better tonight. Asia Boone. I think at one point, Asia and Lexi were a combined 7 of 7 or 8 for 8 from deep. Like, they were absolutely on a roll. She did really well. Even got some point guard minutes from her, which I really liked. But besides Lexi, I think one of the bigger stories from the night was Gabby Brooks. Shout out Gabby. If you all remember last season, in the season opener, she comes out and hits a 3 against USC Upstate, and Kenny Brooks is smiling near her ear. And she comes out tonight against Monmouth. And it's like a few possessions go by, and she doesn't get the ball in her hands. And then you just kind of you literally see it play out. Everyone's kind of doing their motions or whatever, defense on the offense. And then here's Lexi, just way off by herself in the corner. Or, excuse me, Gabby. She catches it, lets it fly, makes it. But she hits that 1-3, and you're sitting there like, oh, okay, this is awesome, this is great. And then she gets it again. Same thing happens. Offense is developing. Someone leaks off their man. Again, Gabby in the corner, catches it, pops it, nails it. Memorial erupts. Kenny Brooks, I believe on that second one, big old fist pump. I asked him there in the postgame press, I was like, Kenny, forget being a coach. No one cares about Coach Brooks right now. How does Dad Brooks feel? And again, you could just see, he's been through a lot personally, obviously, with the situation with his wife, that, the illness, right? Of course, she's good now, but, it's been hard times for Kenny, right, and the family. Just kind of see that happiness was really, like, rewarding. Like, because, Gabby, like, she's not a scrub. She's not trash. She's not good. Now, she's not going to play and start here at Kentucky, but you know what I mean? Like, she belongs on that floor. especially in a situation like that. And it was just so awesome to kind of see that elation on Kenny's face, on Gabby's face, on everyone's face. You know, I've kind of noticed this. This happened a lot during non-conference play last season. The crowd, as in the number of people in the stands, wasn't the greatest, but it's a that building holds 6,250 now. I'd probably say there's 3,000 to 4,000 people in that building tonight. That was a loud 3,000 to 4,000. You know what I mean? So once we get that place filling up, Purdue comes to town, you get some better games heading into SEC play. Things should be really fun. And if Kentucky shoots like they did tonight, it might be rocking in there. They just renovated this place. It might start to fall apart. All right. Kentucky wins 104-46. Rapid reaction went great. No one tried to move my backpack. These guys yelled at me from the street as they're driving by. Looks like they were at the game, decked out in Cats gear. One guy had face paint on. Just didn't understand the rapid reaction. That's okay. We'll get you on board, sir. No problem. But yeah, 104-46. Again, it was 49, but 46. So the domination, 3 points better. I'm Phoenix Stevens, outside of beautiful, historic Memorial Coliseum. Again, ass whooping. Just beautiful stuff. Kentucky on Sunday goes on the road at Buffalo, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start on ESPN+. We'll have all the action for you on KSR. Be sure to, don't go to sleep just yet. Hang on with us, all right, because we got post-game coverage, all that. Like, comment, subscribe on the KSR YouTube channel. Of course, thank you all again so much for tuning in. I'm Phoenix Stevens, like I said, outside of historic Memorial Coliseum. 104-46 Cats. We will see you guys next time.